All right, so today we're going to continue talking about comparison, but this time our fractions have the same numerator. They do not have the same denominator. So before we begin, let's go back to our symbols. So greater than is when the larger or open side is on the left, right? So the alligator or whoever is eating the number or the fraction that is on the left. The way that we read this sign is greater than. Less than has the greater amount on the right side. So the alligator is eating the amount, the larger amount is on the right side. And we read that less than because the one on the left is less than the one on the right. Equal to means that they both have the same value. All right, so let's talk about today's. Comparing fractions. So if the numerators are the same, compare the denominators, these number of pieces. So let's talk about what this means. So it means that each person 8 has got one piece. So that's the same. They both have one piece. That's the same. But 3 means the whole is split into 3 parts. 5 means it's split into 5 parts. So I have 2 fraction bars down here. So let's draw each one out. So let's see if I can do a better job than last time of drawing. So the first one I'm going to make 1/3. So I have to split them into 3 equal parts. That was pretty good. 1/3. Okay. So I'm only talking about one of the pieces. One of the pieces. So let's come down here. This one, well, I'm going to write actually that this one was 1/3. I'm going to label it. This one is 1/5, my second fraction bar. So if I'm sharing it with 5, I'm splitting the whole into 5 equal pieces. I'm going to have to make the pieces be smaller, right? So I'm going to first start by dividing into a smaller part and a larger part. And the smaller part, I'm going to cut into 2 pieces. And the larger part, I'm going to cut into 3 pieces. Let's double check that I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I did so much better today with dividing my pieces. Okay, so I still only have one part, right? Each time they got one piece. This time they got one piece, but it only had to be split into 3. This time they had one piece and it had to be split into 5. So this means that when I have a denominator that's larger, I have to share it with more people. So let's think about it this way. If I have my favorite candy, my favorite snack, my favorite dessert, my favorite pizza, do I want to share that? Do I want 3 people to eat that or do I want 5 people to eat that? Which one are you going to get more? You're going to get more when you have less parts or people to share it with. So let's figure out the sign. I know 5 is a bigger number, but down here it shows that 1/5 is a smaller amount and 1/3 is the bigger amount. So I need to put greater than sign because the alligator or the mouth is eating the larger part. And I read this like 1/3 is greater than 1/5. That's the way that I read that. So let's do a little review. You're going to have to do this on your own in just a minute. So it says use the word blank, use the word bank to fill in the blanks in your notes. So our notes are here. The more pieces a whole is divided into, so the more pieces, the smaller the pieces are or the larger? The smaller. This is just what I was talking about. That is way too big. This is just what I was talking about, right? The more pieces I have, and they're going to have to be smaller because if I have to share with more people, I have to cut them smaller. So the opposite one is going to be the fewer pieces a whole is divided into, the larger they are. So the fewer people I need to share it with, the larger it's going to be. Okay? So it kind of works backwards. The larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. Let me say that again. The larger the denominator, the smaller the piece. The smaller the denominator, the larger the piece. So it kind of works backwards. All right, let's do a word problem because today you're going to have to do some where you just compare fractions and then you're going to have a few that are word problems. So let's practice together. On Saturday, the campers paddled 2 8s 2/8 of their planned trip down the river. So this was Saturday, right? This was Saturday. On Sunday, okay, so on Sunday they paddled 2/3 of their trip down the river. I notice my numerators are the same, 2 and 2. So which day did they paddle further? This example, we've already been given fraction bars. So Saturday, they already labeled it for us, was 2/8. So it was 1, 2. On Sunday, it was 2/3. 1/3, 2/3. Which day did the campers paddle farther? We know when you have a larger denominator, the pieces are smaller. So definitely the answer would be Sunday because it is a larger amount, 2/3. I use my fraction bars to be able to compare them. Okay, so you're going to use fraction bars and do the same thing that I did today, split them up, shade them in, and then see which one is larger. Practice using the signs or typing your answer in.